As the sun sets on a beautiful beach, two students, Kai and Mira, dive into an insightful discussion about network security for their final project. Hey Mira, I've been thinking about our project on network security. We should probably start by defining what networking security is. Any thoughts? Definitely, Kai. Networking security, or network security, is all about protecting the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of data and resources as they are transmitted over or accessed from a network. It's essential because it prevents unauthorized access, misuse, malfunction, modification, destruction, or improper disclosure. Got it. So why is network security so important? Well, think about all the sensitive information that flows through networks daily. Personal data, financial information, intellectual property. Without robust security measures, this data could be intercepted, altered, or stolen, leading to significant financial losses, reputational damage, and legal consequences. For instance, the 2017 Equifax breach exposed the personal information of 147 million people. Makes sense. What are the fundamentals of network security, Mira? The basics include identifying and managing risks, implementing measures to prevent attacks, and ensuring that the network is resilient to attacks. Key elements are access control, ensuring only authorized users can access resources. Authentication, verifying the identity of users, like using passwords or biometrics. Confidentiality, keeping data secret through encryption. Integrity, ensuring data isn't tampered with using hashing algorithms. Availability, making sure services are available when needed, often through redundancy and failover systems. For example, a company might use multi-factor authentication, MFA, to add an extra layer of security beyond just a password. Interesting. But what are the common threats and vulnerabilities? There are quite a few. Common threats include malware, software designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access, like viruses, worms, and Trojans. Phishing, trick users into providing sensitive information through fake emails or websites. Man-in-the-middle attacks, intercept communications between two parties without their knowledge. Denial of service DOS attacks, flood a network with traffic to make services unavailable. Insider threats, employees or contractors misusing their access to data. Vulnerabilities are weaknesses in the system that can be exploited by threats, such as unpatched software, weak passwords, or unsecured networks. Kai, can you explain some of these threats and vulnerabilities in detail? Sure. Let's break them down. Malware. A virus might attach itself to a legitimate program and spread to other programs or files when executed. A worm can replicate itself to spread to other computers over a network. Trojans disguise themselves as legitimate software to trick users into installing them, giving attackers access to the system. Phishing. An attacker sends an email that looks like it's from a bank, asking the recipient to click a link and enter their login credentials on a fake website. This is a common way to steal information. Man-in-the-middle attacks. An attacker intercepts communications between a user and a website, possibly altering the communication or stealing data. For instance, intercepting data in a public Wi-Fi hotspot. DOS attacks. Attackers use a botnet to send massive amounts of traffic to a server, overwhelming it and causing it to crash. This happened to GitHub in 2018, which faced a 1.35 Tbps attack. Insider threats. A disgruntled employee might misuse their access to sensitive information or systems. For example, in 2014, a Sony employee leaked confidential data and emails. That sounds scary. How do network security protocols help? Mira. Network security protocols are rules and standards that ensure secure communication. Key protocols include HTTPS, secures web browsing by encrypting data exchanged between a browser and a server using SSL/TLS. SSL/TLS encrypts data transmitted between devices to prevent eavesdropping and tampering. IPsec secures Internet Protocol communications by authenticating and encrypting each IP packet in a communication session. For example, when you see a padlock icon in the address bar of your web browser, it means the website is using HTTPS, protecting your data from being intercepted. What about the network architecture for security? A secure network architecture involves designing the network to minimize vulnerabilities. This includes network segmentation, dividing the network into zones with different security levels. For instance, separating the public web server from the internal network. Firewalls, controlling traffic between network zones, like blocking traffic from known malicious IP addresses. Secure access controls, implementing policies to ensure only authorized users can access certain parts of the network. Redundancy and backup systems, ensuring the network remains functional during attacks by having backup servers and multiple pathways for data. An example is a company using VLANs, virtual local area networks, to segment traffic within the same physical network. Speaking of firewalls, what exactly are they? Mira, firewalls are security devices that monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. They act as a barrier between trusted and untrusted networks, filtering out malicious traffic and preventing unauthorized access. There are different types of firewalls. Packet filtering firewalls inspect packets and allow or block them based on the source and destination IP addresses, ports, or protocols. Stateful inspection firewalls track the state of active connections and make decisions based on the context of the traffic. Next-generation firewalls, NGFW, provide more advanced features like intrusion prevention, deep packet inspection, and application awareness. For example, a packet filtering firewall might block all incoming traffic on port 23, Telnet, to prevent unsecure remote login attempts. And VPNs? How do they fit in? VPNs, or virtual private networks, create a secure, encrypted connection over the internet. This allows users to securely access a private network and share data remotely. There are two main types of VPNs. Remote access VPNs enable individual users to connect to a private network from a remote location using a secure tunnel. For example, a remote worker accessing their company's internal network. Site-to-site VPNs connect entire networks to each other over the internet, typically used by businesses to connect branch offices. For instance, when you use a VPN on your laptop to connect to your company's network, your data is encrypted, preventing anyone from eavesdropping on your connection. Kai, what about intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDS, IPS? Mira, IDS and IPS are crucial for monitoring network traffic for suspicious activity. They work as follows. Intrusion Detection System, IDS, monitors network traffic and alerts administrators to potential threats, like unusual patterns of traffic that might indicate a DDoS attack. Intrusion Prevention System, IPS, not only monitors and alerts, but also takes action to block or prevent the detected threats in real time. For example, an IDS might detect repeated failed login attempts on a server and alert the admin, while an IPS would block the IP address after a certain number of failed attempts. And Network Access Control, NAC. Mira, NAC is a security solution that controls who and what devices can access the network. It enforces security policies, ensuring that only compliant devices, like those with updated antivirus software, are granted access. This prevents compromised devices from entering the network. For instance, a company might use NACI to ensure that any device connecting to the network has up-to-date antivirus software and operating system patches. If a device doesn't comply, it's denied access or placed in a quarantine zone for remediation. Finally, what about encryption methods? Mira, encryption methods are used to protect data by converting it into a code to prevent unauthorized access. Common methods include symmetric encryption. The same key is used for both encryption and decryption. Examples include AES, Advanced Encryption Standard, which is widely used for secure data transmission. Asymmetric encryption uses a pair of public and private keys. The public key encrypts the data, and the private key decrypts it. RSA is a common asymmetric encryption algorithm. Hashing converts data into a fixed-size hash value, which is not meant to be reversed, used for ensuring data integrity, like SHA-256. For example, when you send an email using PGP, pretty good privacy, it's encrypted using the recipient's public key, ensuring only they can decrypt it with their private key. Kai, this is great info, Mira. I think we have a solid foundation for our project now. Let's enjoy the rest of this sunset and start putting our presentation together tomorrow. Sounds like a plan, Kai. Cheers to understanding network security better. As Kai and Mira enjoy the peaceful sunset, their conversation has provided a comprehensive overview of network security, from basic concepts to specific tools and protocols. In summary, network security is vital in protecting data and resources in our interconnected world. Understanding its fundamentals, common threats, and the various tools and protocols available helps in building robust defenses against cyber threats. Thank you for joining Kai and Mira in their journey to explore network security. We hope this discussion has been informative and engaging. Stay secure, and see you next time.